only have one superpower, what might that be?
I'll let you go first.
Shape-shifting.
Shape-shifting. That's the first time I've gotten that answer. Why?
I don't know. I want to be a cat sometimes, or maybe a bird, or...
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would, if I could just, I don't know what it would be called, but the ability not to have to sleep or something. Just be able to stay awake all the time.
That's the first one
It's so much wasted time that I'm missing out on.
First time I've gotten that, so that's
hours a day.
Great answer.
Not being productive or not having fun.
Isn't sleep so interesting? Because no matter who you are, everybody's got to sleep, and if you don't get it,
he doesn't sleep that much though to begin with, but
5 or 6 hours. But then I usually just it's like
gotta go. Well, how long you been in business?
We bought the nursery 4 years ago.
4 years, yeah. So I mean, wearing lots of hats,
right?
Who's got time to sleep? All right. That's a great answer. Yeah. Mine is always speed, but kind of for the same reason. If you sleep less, you can do more.
Yeah.
If I'm faster, I can do more. Right? Yeah, kind of the same idea. So, all right, one more. If animals could talk, who would be the funniest to have a conversation with?
A monkey.
A monkey, okay.
Monkey makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like a squirrel or something. They probably see a lot of stuff,
That's right. They're always
something that
they'd be
see everywhere. It'd be interesting anyway. Right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Me, I'd say dog. I got my wife and I have 2 dogs, and every time you walk in the door, the dog acts like you've been gone on leave. You know what I mean? You're home.
Right.
And they're just always so happy and bubbly and whatever. You know what I mean? Well, I guess not always, but most of the time.
Usually,
most
to see it.
Yeah. So you acquired the business 4 years ago.
Right.
What went into the decision to buy a business, and then what was the first day that you owned it? What was the first day like?
All right. So our decision to buy it, we kind of just got tired of the corporate rat race. I mean, I was in corporate for 20 plus years, and she was a stay-at-home mom for a good portion of that time. And we wanted to have a little bit more flexibility, not being required to go to places we don't want to go to type stuff, and being more present with the family.
Sure.
And spending more time as a family, which owning a business you would think is not necessarily great. But the advantage is when you buy a business, that it's already kind of you're through all the legwork of the grind of starting it. Right? You're buying and you have income from day one.
Right.
So that was kind of, it really just got tired of doing the corporate thing, right? It was working for somebody else. It didn't matter how hard you worked, you had a cap on your income type thing.
You do. Yeah, absolutely.
We just kind of thought, why not try it?
Yeah. Why not try this out?
Let's try it. Like, it's worked out, and I think we're pretty happy with it. But the first day wasn't so bad. No, the first day was good. I mean, just learning all the people. You get all these customers because we do wholesale and retail.
Yeah. And
there's just constantly people coming in and out, and you're meeting all these landscapers who, to this day, I met a lot of them on the first day, and some of them I don't remember ever meeting them. Like, hey, do you remember meeting me? I don't remember. It's just like so much going on. It was like a deer in the headlights.
Like a blur.
First would be the first day or the first several days. But
how about for you? Same or?
Yeah. The first day for me was really sitting down with the previous owner, the wife, and we were scrambling around trying to get the social media and the email all over into our possession, I guess.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of that. It was really cool though. We were sitting in the back doing it, and I just remember customers coming in, and it's like, oh cool, we're getting paid right now. We're making money right now. And that was really cool.
Yeah, I bet. Did you know the previous owners?
Only through the transaction.
Just through that's it. So how did you decide to buy a nursery versus, a franchise or what? What was that about?
It was just kind of random, honestly. We had been looking for a while. When we decided to do something different, we put our house up for sale in Michigan and just moved into a camper and took off, right?
With our 5 kids,
with our 5
and
kids
dog.
and dog. And we didn't know where we were going to go.
Really?
Yeah, we had no real plan. And we had a plan of like, okay, the next couple months, this is what we're going to do, where we're going to stay. But we were kind of like, what are we going to do? I don't know, right? But we were fortunate that my employer allowed me to take a couple steps back and still work, but work remotely. So we still had income. So it was nice, right? And we still had benefits and stuff like that. So there was some great things about that, right?
Yeah.
They made it a lot easier than just, it
You're
doesn't
out.
sound as great as we just like, see ya, like thing. There was a little bit of a cushion there for us. And we just kind of were bouncing around trying to figure out what we wanted to do. We were looking anywhere, really. We didn't care where we went, as long as there was no snow. We were okay.
Yeah.
And so we were, anywhere from Florida to California, kind of like we're looking at businesses, right? And it's just there's a couple of them we liked. We were under contract with a couple of them. They fell through. Just one was financing, the other one the numbers weren't what they were presented to be.
Yeah.
And actually, that one we were in the deal. The day that we told the broker that we were going to do it, the broker that had the nursery presented it to me. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And she really likes plants, and I like business.
And we liked the area. We, as we were hopping around in the camper, we actually got stuck in the Bradenton area because
Really?
COVID hit.
Right.
And what happened was we were only supposed to be there, I think, for a week.
Right.
And we had reservations at that point all booked out into Arizona, I believe.
Yeah.
And the campground started calling me and they're like, we're canceling your reservations. I started freaking out because I'm like, where do we go?
Yeah.
So the campground that we were staying at in Bradenton actually said that we could extend our stay. So I think we ended up staying for a month.
About a month, yeah.
And so we liked this area. We knew we liked it. That popped up. The numbers were like what we were looking for. I love plants, always loved them. He just likes money. Because those two things were, he likes numbers.
Money is the numbers.
So because those two things were in alignment for both of us in that area, I think that's why
it just kind of worked out.
Yeah.
And it worked out because we were going to go out west, and I didn't know if we'd ever come back to Florida type deal, right? And then the whole COVID thing hit, and then we got stuck here, and then we're like, why don't we stay a little longer? We never went to the Everglades. We didn't go to Key West. We didn't do any of those things yet. So let's just stay another month until we kind of figure out that. And this all came at the same time. So it was almost kind of like
this perfect storm.
It was a perfect storm.
Yeah.
Like, this is a good opportunity. Let's check it out. And then kind of just it worked out. Like we were able to close, and everything kind of worked out pretty well.
Nice.
And, the timing of it was, election year, COVID, all at the same time. It was
Scary.
It was a little bit, not easy. But like kind of like all the uncertainty of outside of your control.
Yeah. So there's the uncertainty of just starting a business,
Right.
whether acquiring or not. Like, okay, we're going to start this business, and I always say the audacity of an entrepreneur, right? To say, I'm going to leave this corporate money behind. I'm going to leave these benefits or this steady paycheck behind, and I'm going to count on myself. The audacity.
Right.
So you got that. Then COVID, election year.
Sure.
Oh my goodness, so much.
Right.
I was nervous during COVID, having been in business almost 10 years at that point. I mean, I remember being nervous. Like, what does this mean for us?
Right.
Unfortunately, it worked out, but like, goodness gracious, I would have been terrified.
Yeah.
5 kids and a dog too. Goodness.
I think I was. I mean, I was terrified, honestly. It was just kind of like just the unknown. We just took on this huge debt, right, to buy the business. And you're just like, whoo, gotta pay this.
Now we gotta pay these
gotta pay
bills
this every month. But
That's right.
there's no like.
It's not going
The
on.
bank don't care.
Yeah, they don't care if the customer's not coming in or whatever. Yeah,
You
for
gotta pay
sure.
it. So
Talk to me about, being a couple owning a business, because oftentimes business owners are kind of by themselves.
Right.
And then oftentimes when there's a couple that are working together all the time, there's this, that butting of heads or whatever. But I don't see that.
that never happened.
Yeah, like, what's that? How are you making that work, man?
It happens.
What's the secret?
It happens. It's funny because I think we balance each other out pretty well.
We do.
Yeah.
Where because I'm more of a numbers person, I'm like, this.
Yeah.
And she's more.
I have like the
she's a
big
people plant
ideas, and
person.
I'm the one that's like has these big like dreams for it, I think. And not to say he doesn't, but that he grounds me sometimes.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, babe, the numbers don't work.
Right.
Though. Like
And
we have to do this smart. And I think he supports my big vision of things in a grounded way.
Yeah, the way that you ground him, he kind of,
and then I'm like, okay, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're bringing big ideas, and he's like, oh, that's good. Let's make that work.
Yeah.
And you're figuring out
sometimes we make it work. Like we bought, like one of the first things we did was not one of the first things, but like one of the first investments we did. She wanted a place to grow have interior plants. Right, we didn't have that space, so we did. We renovated the barn into a space for interior plants, and then we went to.
For that space.
That space isn't big enough, so now we spent money on a new greenhouse for just interior plants, right? And that was like it was all her vision of that, wanting to have this offering for our customers, and
nice.
It just kind of had to make the numbers work,
Right.
But there's, I have ideas too. Like we do a good job of complimenting each other. I think but we do have a couple we butt heads from time to time.
Sure, working together. Yeah, absolutely. But it sounds like you really.
It's usually
balance each other out. That's how that
works. So, and I think once I figure that out, I'll be good.
He said it.
I don't.
She's not gonna.
No, not at all. Talk to me about in that first year. You're getting everything moved over to your name, and you're controlling things like that. You're learning kind of the day to day. I'm sure. What was after the previous owners were no longer in the picture?
Yeah.
What was the first big roadblock you ran into that you have to figure out on your
own? Probably the team. I mean, just the team. I mean, we ran into a lot of like, you're the new guy,
Sure.
We, and everybody wants.
I've been here forever.
Everybody wants a raise. Everybody, we kind of went through that with everybody, and really then trying to get it transitioned to what the way that they were doing things to then like now we've seen this. We've given you guys 3 months or so to, like, we didn't come in and make changes day one. We kind of like, let's just kind of see how things are going, and if it's working, it's working. If it's not, we'll make changes. And then after probably about 3 or 4 months, we started like, okay, we're gonna start doing things a little different, right? And we started making changes. We got a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
And then we ended up kind of moving through kind of turning over the staff with our own people.
Yeah.
We've got one guy who's been there, and he's been there 12 years now or something.
Nice.
Still with us.
And he's one of our key people. But otherwise, we had to bring in our own group to kind of change the mindset. Caring is the wrong word, but like really customer focused, really quality focused service. Shifting the mindset of more or less we're just selling plants.
Right.
So we're offering.
It sounds like you're talking about like the culture.
It was a culture.
Yeah.
We changed the culture for sure.
Okay.
And that's probably would have been quicker for me.
No. That was a good explanation. Like what steps did you take to change over this culture? You turn over the staff, but like what else?
Initially, there was a learning curve for sure, because we initially thought we have to have plant people. Right? We have to have plant people. Well, the plant people sometimes aren't easy with people,
Sure.
And everybody's got their thing, and so then we just kind of like went through a phase where we had all these plant people, and then we shifted a little bit to like, okay, we're not getting what we want on the service side of it and customer side of it, right? So now we've shifted to people, right? Do you love people? Are you, and then do you love people? Do you like plants? Or maybe you can love both, right?
Yeah.
But
people
the requirement of knowing plants, we threw out the door, right?
That's interesting.
And we said, we want people that are going to take care of our customers, right? The way we want them taken care of. And then they can learn plants.
Yeah, I imagine it's easier. It's difficult, but like it's easier for them to learn plants as a people person than it is for a plant person to learn about the other people.
For sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we saw that need because we were there every day, and we were engaging with the customers, and it really ended up coming down to a lot of times they just wanted to be treated with respect. They wanted to be supported. They wanted somebody to help them find a plant. If you didn't have the answer, most people were okay with it. They didn't care. We had resources where we could find the answer for them if we didn't know it, but they just wanted the support, the customer support.
Right.
And that's when it became like really important to us to, like, during interviews and stuff and whatever, we would say, do you like people? Like, why do you want to work here? If it was just solely for plants, we're like, actually you spend more time with people than you do with plants.
Right.
So that's why that shifted. Us being there, seeing the customer feedback of what they want when they go to a garden center.
Yeah, and that honest answer, like, hey, I don't know the answer to this, but I'll find out for you.
Exactly.
Like, that goes way further than trying to, like, fumble through.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know.
Generally, the customer, I think, can feel it. Right?
They can feel the BS, right? Yeah, absolutely.
You're not able to confidently answer the question. And the difference of, even from me, when we first bought the place and I'm helping customers and I'm trying to answer the questions, but there's a hesitation because I'm still learning, right?
Right.
To 6 months later and I can answer the
No.
questions. The amount of people, I'm not a salesy person by any means, so I don't really generally like to do sales, but just being able to talk to them and educate them about the plants and guide them in the right direction leads to the sale, right?
Yeah.
It's not our ability to turn the conversation into a sale.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
we do something similar here. I just have always called it a consultative approach. Right. Like, I'm going to give you value.
Yeah.
And if there's a chance to do business, great.
Yeah.
If not, that's cool too.
Yeah.
I think people appreciate that more.
It's basically the same type of
Yeah, it's the same thing. And if there's not an opportunity, they're going to lead with value. And when somebody asks them who to refer to, it's going to be you, because you were caring about that person. You gave them value, regardless of if they spent money with you or not.
Right. There, not too long ago, Scott, there was a customer that came in to buy some plants. You're talking about putting it in a full sun location, and it was not a plant for full sun. And he,
a lot of them.
I mean, he could have just not said anything and we got the sale, right? And he's like, no, you don't want to buy those plants. He's like, I'm hesitant to say this because I'm going to lose the sale now. They didn't end up buying it. They put it back. They thanked him. Who knows if we've gotten their repeat business but we want to do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
And we trust that it's going to come back to us.
Yeah. Love that. Camera's all good?
Oh, we're great.
All right. I didn't take a pause last session. I realized it. I was like, Jacqueline's going to be mad at me.
You're so sweet. No, we're good. Keep it on.
All right, wonderful. Talk to me about the interview process. So when you sit down, you're going to bring on a new team member. Like, what does that process entail?
There's a lot of opportunity for improvement, but a lot of it we're learning still. Kind of, and I think we've been talking lately about really putting a little bit more structure behind it in terms of what we ask and stuff, because we're letting our team now interview as well, right? So it's not just us. Like we do a little bit of a screening. Sometimes we're there to interview. Sometimes we have the team members do the interview, our leaders.
Yeah.
But we're really just looking for personality, like, and a cultural fit at this point. Like, you're going to fit in with our team, and are you able to not melt in the sun? Right? So for a while we were doing the interview in the shade because it was more comfortable for us. But now we're like, no, we're going to go do the interview right here in the sun.
That's where they're going to work.
Right.
That's where they're going to work.
And if they
So why
start,
not?
sweating and there's, this ain't gonna work. Like, you have to do this all day, every day.
That's interesting. So because if I'm coming for an interview and I'm outside and I come on, you feel me? A little sweat, just a little tiny bit. It looks like it's everywhere. It rolls up. I'd be so like, oh, I'm so sorry, but that is where they're going to work. So that's a smart idea. I like that.
So, but we're still learning. We're still tweaking.
Mm-hmm.
We've made a lot of, like, in the summer, it's hard to hire people. We added 3 roles in May. I think it was, we added 3 people to this team, right? We're up to 22 or something like that now.
Yeah.
And we added 3 to get there. All 3 of them over summer. It was like, it's too hot. I'm moving back to New York, Chicago, wherever they're moving back to.
Come out of here.
And then we've been kind of fighting through this summer. If you hire people, and just like, oh my God, I didn't realize it was hot out here.
They'll last a day or two and just be like, I can't do this.
That's brutal, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a special person to be able to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and a lot of people think it's not, they can do it, and then they come, and they're like, we've had so many people that last a day, right? And it's just like, we try to, no matter how hard we try to express it to you, this is not a glamorous place to work.
We try to talk them out of it during the interviews.
Yeah.
We're like, it's hot, it's miserable, you're gonna be moving plants all day long in the sun. Do you still want the job?
That's right. I think that's a great move. That's powerful because think about the interviews. I came from a corporate background in my past as well. Like think about some of those interviews. This is what's great about us. These are the benefits.
Right.
Here's what you're gonna love. Do you want the job?
Right.
That's it. But then after a couple of months, you're like, this kind of sucks. You know. But if you start the interview off and they're like, this kind of sucks. You're not gonna like this. This is what's difficult. It hasn't been working out really well. Here's why. Do you want the job? It's fun. You're going to be fulfilled, maybe. But these are all the struggles. Come on, that honesty goes a long way.
Because we've had a few people that they said, you know what, you're right. It's probably not what I'm looking for. I thought it was going to be easier. I didn't know that I was going to be moving the plants so much.
Why waste each other's time?
Right.
You know, and then we go into like, hey, we try to sell them on that we do take good care of.
It's still great. Yeah, it's great.
But just know that
you're going to be working hard.
You're going to be working hard. It's going to be hot.
You're sweaty. Yeah. You probably cancel your gym membership. But, you know, but,
you don't need to sign anymore.
Right. You're going to save some money there. You know. But it's just, it's hard because it's just, it's a different animal. And even like, so then we shift to like a couple of times we've had landscapers ask for jobs. We're like, oh, you should know how to, this is good. Like, we know you can work outside. But they don't. They haven't been in the nursery, right? And we've actually hired a couple, a husband and wife from California. They were like sold their business, and they're designers for us, right?
Cool.
But they're like, I never knew so much work went into the nursery. Like he made a comment like, I need to call and apologize to all the nurseries that I treated so poorly in California because after I've like seen now that what you guys do and like hey, thank you.
Like all the girlfriends are wrong in the past or something.
Right.
So it's just like it's like even people in the industry, you know, don't understand until you're actually in it.
Actually in it.
It's brutal. But we've also experienced here lately in the last year or two. Some of our best employees are customers, like retail customers that say, are you hiring?
Really?
And we're like, yeah. Like for like a good person, we will hire anybody.
Yeah.
Like, we will always hire if there's a good person comes to our door, right? Like a great personality, super presentable, wants to learn plants, maybe knows a little bit to get started and then really wants to grab onto it. And we've hired 3 people now from that. And they've been fabulous.
Customers.
Fabulous, yeah. Right. And just like, I mean, I can try it, you know, but it's been really good. And it's like, it's a good balance of, I think that like Rick was one of them. I think he was probably coming in as a customer like almost every couple of days. So he kind of knew the place. Like, so he might have knew what he was getting into, but it's just, in general, it's just, I don't know. It's hard. People's hard.
But you're right. You know, if it's a good person, you know, you hire for character and you train skill.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because if you hire for skill, but it's not the right character, it's a bad cultural fit, like you said. Like, it's never going to work. Right. Yeah, good call. Yeah. So I'm a customer that's coming into Brewer's Nursery. Yeah. Like, what makes Brewer's Nursery so different?
We'll say hi to you.
Yeah.
You say hi.
You say hi.
One day I was at the nursery and I said, hi, how's it going to a customer? And they're like, what?
You talking to me?
Yeah, they were like, I don't hear that when I'm out shopping at a retail place anymore. And that was when I was like, we say hi to everybody. Like, you know, like that's what I try to get out to the employees. We acknowledge people. We acknowledge a customer if they walk by. Even if you can't help them in that moment, you can still say, hey, how's it going? Yeah. If they say, hey, I need help with something, get on your radio, ask anybody if they can come help them. Customer service is so, so important to us. Just acknowledging the person, like showing that we care.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Like just asking, how's your day?
Yeah.
Like, how you doing today?
Right.
It's so I started this 3 or 4 years ago. Obviously, it's not my idea. I didn't originate this. But like when I'm dealing with retail or service or anything, and I'm coming up to the desk or whatever, or checking out a hotel, whenever coming to the desk, they're like, hey, I'm like, hey, how's your day today? Mm-hmm. The face that I give for people, they're like, oh wow. Even now, you go to Target or something, I'm gonna ask somebody a question, hey, how's your day? They're like, it's good.
Like,
They're caught off guard.
They're caught
Yeah.
off guard, but like they remember it. It
Yeah.
means something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Love that answer.
Yeah. And
So-
then the other thing would be variety, probably, and quality.
Quality.
We
of
really upped the
brands.
quality, even though that, like at first when we first bought it, we were nervous to up the quality because that meant we had to raise our prices,
Right.
because we had to change who we were getting plants from. But there was just a certain point where we're like, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we changed a lot of growers, how to up our prices, but our quality is better, and that's worked out.
Yeah, we went through phases early on when we were making that shift, right, of not having very many plants, because growers were used to sending a certain quality of product, and then like,
Yeah.
that's
We
all
would
bad.
reject it.
We would reject
Bring
whole
it.
semis of plants, and we would be out, and people would come like, "You guys going out of business?" Like, no, we're shifting here a little bit of the quality expectation, and now I think we're known for, I would say, quality and customer service by far are two things that I would say customers would say that we're known for. But and I, you know, even with the suppliers, the growers, I don't think we were being unfair. It was more like, hey, like, don't send me that ever again, you know.
Right.
And we still get the time to time where they send something and you're just like, dude,
That's not
just
gonna
tell me you don't have it. It's okay, right?
Right.
Because then I'll find it somewhere else, type deal. But and it's hard because the plant industry, it's subjective. Yeah. So one person might think it's great, the other person thinks it's terrible, right? And it's like industry wise, this is a good plant.
Yeah.
Something I don't like it. It's not big enough. It's not full enough. It's not, the color's not what I was expecting.
Very subjective.
It's not. It's very subjective. So it's a very difficult thing to do. So we're not unreasonable, but the expectation is that it's a good plant and that you would put it in your own yard, right?
Right.
And that's what we tell our team. Because they'll call me like, hey, you want to come back here, look at this, or send me a picture. I'm like, oh, would you plant it in your yard? And they're like, no. I'm like, then send it back.
Yeah,
like,
that's a fair question.
I'm like, we want our customers to go home with the plant, put it in the yard. The neighbor says, where'd you get that? And they say, Brewer's Nursery.
Right.
Not like, ooh, where'd you get that? Like, ooh, you know, like,
I'm not gonna shop there.
What's wrong with that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we kind of had a fundamental shift that led us, and that for a while there it was tough because we didn't have great quantity of plants, and like you would go through some of the houses and they were 30% full because we were rejecting product.
How long did that transition period last?
Probably 3 to 6 weeks. Each
Significant.
It was a decent amount of time.
Wow.
And then, but once we got there, it was good. And
Yeah.
I mean, that once we made that change with our people, it went kind of like flat. Let's take it off. Like it's just like
Now it's
can't breathe
quality.
that thing, right? Yeah.
So now
it's
people recognize.
good. Yeah, and just a fundamental shift in our expectations, and it's kind of the way we do business too. Because early on, people would be like price match and stuff like that. And we're like, sure, we'll do it, but now it's like, no, we're not going to price match.
Higher quality.
We have better quality.
Yeah.
And we will encourage some people that come around, they're just price shopping. Do your due diligence, go check everywhere. And if you
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and a lot of times they come back.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times.
I work with a consultant.
Yeah.
And I remember this is probably 7-8 years ago, in tech saying, hey, you only want to work with the people you want to work with,
Yeah.
the people that want to work with you.
Right.
So when somebody comes in and you give them a rate or price that is for your time, your services,
Right.
they're going to push back and say, oh, well, can you try this? Years ago, when you're getting started in business, you're going to take any opportunity you can get. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll come down to that. But think about what you've lost, right? How much did you give away, and how much in the relationship did you give away? It's like if you could just hold on for a little bit, turn some of those bad ones away, and hold out for the good ones, it'll be worth your while.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a tough 6-month period, I would say, where I was like turning deals away.
Right.
That I was like, I don't wish I took that one, even though I know it was a bad fit. But in the long run, it was monumental change because it's a relationship built on mutual respect, mutual value.
Right.
And you're right. Like if I'm delivering a higher quality service, I should get paid for it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're not out of line with our price
Right.
either. We're in the market, right?
Right.
But there are people cheaper than us.
There's people cheaper. You can get a better price on occasion from somebody else, right? But
On occasion.
repeatability, we're really like repeatability. You can get we have
Right. You got the
phenomenal
quality.
and
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
really happy with it. Summer is a little hard, so don't judge us right now.
That's but the industry wide
with all
though,
this
but
rain,
yeah.
it's so hard. But we're doing the best we can.
Yeah.
Everybody's got the same problem.
As we go into the fourth quarter,
Right.
like this is your fourth year in business.
Yep.
So based on your last 3 years, like what's the fourth quarter plan? Like what are you doing right now to gear up for the fourth quarter to have this strong closeout to the year?
Really building up our inventory on say hard goods, hardscaping type stuff. Also, every year we try to improve our planning for our mulch. We sell a lot of mulch in the fall. A lot of mulch.
Yeah.
Now's like a pre-booking time for mulch.
Yeah. So
and even for me, for some annual flowering plants and things like that.
it's
Holiday plants.
planning, product, right? But we've got a good plan. I feel pretty good about it now. It's just getting the mulch company to keep up with us, right? They, machines go down. They can't find drivers. This is what we deal with every fall, right? But we've got a plan in place. Hopefully it works out. Otherwise, we're working on just beautification stuff, trying to make it more welcoming, attractive place.
Gotcha.
Because here it's different than the rest of the country, where summer here is your slow time, right? Everywhere else, summer is like peak for the garden, right? But we're like, this is our slower time.
Yeah, people move.
We're working on making the place more beautiful. We got bigger plans, but our short-term plans is here, right? And then really adding team members. So we've got the 3 that we gone. Now we've got 3. I think we're stable. Trying to get them up to speed so they can help customers in the next couple of months and be ready to rock and roll. So we'll see. You never know. But there's just so much out of your control in this industry because there's so many things that can go wrong. Right? This tropical storm or hurricane comes.
So that has a huge impact. Like if the high wind, high rain, that's going to impact what you have in the nursery available and the viability of the plant and stuff like that.
Yep, absolutely.
Man.
Yeah, and demand. Like when the hurricane hit, like we went. I mean, everybody knew it was kind of coming. Like a week or so before, nobody was buying plants, right?
Right.
And then it came, and then you got 2-3 weeks. Everybody's just cleaning it up.
Yeah.
So we went out the month with like very little sales. It's just like, and we kept our people and employed them.
We kept giving them hours.
We obviously closed during the hurricane, but the next day we let everybody kind of do their thing, what they needed to do, and they're like, we need to get back to work, and because they needed to do some stuff in the nursery to get it back to presentable, right? But there's that kind of stuff that you never know, it's hard. Like outdoor business in Florida is not the ideal situation.
A lot of variables.
I keep saying, like, I'd love to have like because we have 5 acres, it's just a 5-acre warehouse, and we just kind of complete control of this thing. 'Cause it'd be amazing. Expensive, but amazing.
Cameron's good?
Oh, we're great.
Okay, I got 2 questions left. You good on time?
Yeah.
Okay. Josh, that pizza's $110. So I'm gonna crack the blinds. Keep an eye out. Order pizza.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously there was an existing. Sorry, I should have known that. So obviously there was an existing customer base, right? So people were coming in. You mentioned that earlier, seeing customers come in and whatnot. How have you approached like getting the name out and like reaching more people? I heard you mention social media earlier. Like, what's the plan for that?
She does a phenomenal job on social media. I just click a couple buttons on there. But, she taught me how to click the buttons. And then a lot of it's word of mouth. For the landscapers, a lot of it's word of mouth. And it's also when they come in to get something, we have it, it's good, we take care of them, right? They want to be in and out of there as fast as possible.
Good.
So we try to develop our systems around that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They call it in, we pull it, it's ready to go, right?
I would imagine like that word of mouth, because it's very relationship based, right?
Right.
Sure. Okay.
But on the retail side, it's her thing. I'm not capable of answering that
I mean, social media is easy for the retail customers because I just have to post a picture of a plant. The plant's going to sell itself.
Right.
I always feel like within this industry, I have a really easy time with marketing because the plant says it all.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is having variety. That draws people in.
Yeah.
Occasionally I'm on some other plant groups within the area and somebody will say, hey, I'm looking for this plant. And I'll just comment, hey, Brewer's Nursery has it. We've had a lot of sales that way of people then will come in
Nice.
and buy the plant right after, or they'll message me on Facebook and, say, hey, can you hold it aside? I'll come pick it up. And they do, they come pick it up. But again, too, it's word of mouth with the retail people too. It's doing a great job, and then they tell their neighbor. Or
one of the first, after about 6 months of having our own group in there, getting the quality up to our level of what we wanted it. A customer posted on Nextdoor or something about how you guys need to, in this community, you guys need to check out Brewer's Nursery. It's under new ownership.
That's huge.
It's completely different, or blah blah blah, and all of a sudden, every day somebody would say, I saw this guy posted on Nextdoor, and that's the reason I'm here. Holy cow. And it's just it just kind of snowballed, right?
Yeah.
But the social media on the Facebook side, she does an amazing job. We sponsored where we add ads on there. But
it's good content.
The engagement is incredible, right? And it's just, and that was the next step, right? So Nextdoor was quick, right? And then she was posting on there, and then every day is big. I saw you post on Facebook. Where's this plant? Almost every person that come in, I saw it on Facebook. I came because your Facebook post, and they're like, oh, geez, Taylor's head's getting so big.
Yeah, and I think it's cool. You said somebody could call up and say, "Hey, I saw this. Can you hold it?" So you're large enough to serve the customer, but small enough to know them, right? They can take the photo. Hey, I saw this. Could you hold it? Yeah, we can do that for you. That goes a really long way. Right. Okay, 4 years in.
Yep.
What's the next 4 or 5 years look like for Brewer's Nursery?
Oh boy. Well, we need to make some big changes. We're rebranding immediately. And I can say that it's
not a secret.
Not a secret. We're rebranding. That's going to come out in the next couple of weeks. We're trying to probably do it around the 4-year anniversary type deal. We want to try to get away from the Brewer's name. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but just it's weird. People come and oh, you're Scott Brewer. No, I'm not Scott. Why are you calling this place Brewer's Nursery? Because I paid money to call this. That's right. But we want to kind of it's a good transition point. And then the next step after that's really going to be, we've started working with a couple of companies, really focusing on one now of really redesigning our space.
Nice.
A significant investment. But we have 5 acres. We're the smallest nursery in that cluster of nurseries there. But we're pretty good now, but we have opportunity to probably double our capacity. It'll be a game changer.
That'd be huge.
So,
by just making our space
more optimal.
More efficient, yeah.
And so that's going to be our next step.
Who does that? Is an architect? Or that's
it'd be an architect. But there's companies that just specifically
just for nursery.
It's a lot to figure it out. Yeah, but it's kind of cool. And they do some cool stuff. And we have ideas, but we need smarter people than us to create them, finish them, or tell us, that that's not my idea. Thank you.
Yeah, but they'll know.
Right. It's okay, right?
For sure.
Right. That's one of the things we learned as business owners, right? Is that just hire it out when there's going to be people smarter than us in all kinds of areas, and we're humble enough that we can hire it out when we know that we're not the expert in that area.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, when you're talking about a specific discipline or a service, you have somebody on the team that you're not the smartest person in the room. That's a good thing, right? You talk about these cameras and stuff like that. Can I turn it on? Can I press the button myself? Sure. Do I know how to use it well? No, absolutely not. I'll leave it to the experts. So I love that.
Same way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the people on plants. I'll offer a customer. I can help customers, but I would be like, hey, there's somebody else available.
Yeah.
Because I know that they're going to give them even better
Right. And that's
support than I can.
Right, because we have some people on our team that do. They have a lot of plant knowledge, and they're people.
Yeah.
and the people.
You're
So
happier with
yeah,
that.
right.
Yeah.
That way, just like I can take care of what you need, but I think you'll be even happier with it.
Yeah, you'll get more value
Right.
for sure.
So,
Love it.
Then they probably have a better personality.
Well, Scott Taylor, thank you so much for giving up some of your time today. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. I know the audience is going to get a lot of value out of your story.
Cool.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks for having us.
Okay,
Got it.
keep them rolling.
Okay.
Josh, can you hook me up over here?
Yes, sir.
I think it's the one on the left.
Okay.
Let me see that. One-handed. What's in there? Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Hey, as entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
the most valuable asset that you have is your time.
Right.
So we're thankful that you're willing to give us some of your time. And we just got a little gift
Right.
for the both of you. There's just a little something in there.
Wow.
Because you.
Just to say thanks.
Oh,
Cool. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
absolutely.